That was such a wake-up call, huh? Okay, so we just wanted to do one quick introduction. My name is Jayashree and I work with this NGO called Quest Alliance, which is based out of Bangalore. By profession, I'm a career psychologist, so I kind of tell people what they could do in their life, for good or bad. But that's what I do, and I also train people who want to do interventions for students. So like teachers, volunteers, and people like that. And as Swamiji was saying, we were part of the Ramakrishna Mission Ashram in Chennai for a very, very long time, and we owe a lot to this organization. We do not know if, like Swamiji said, we are leaders, but we are definitely aspiring to be a leader, and it takes immense pleasure, and we are very humble to interact with you all on this camp and share whatever we know and whatever is our experiences. We are just going to share. We are not here to lecture you about anything, and hope together we learn something and take something back and put something in action. So that's essentially going to be the goal on all our interactions here on. Welcome to the session.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Arasu. First of all, it's my privilege to be here. Thank you, Maharaj. He's been telling us this about this camp for several years, and this year we had the chance to come here and be part of it. Not only that, we actually do some activity that will hopefully help you to awaken the leadership in you. Like Maharaj said, I have this sports management degree, which I'm very pleased and happy. Someone here, she was telling us that 90% of the people, do not follow what they wanted to follow, So I'm very fortunate that I'm on the other side. And I actually urge you to follow what you want to do. That's pretty very important. And I work for this company called Expat Leisure Resorts in Bangalore. We have a sports club, and I'm sales manager there. We also take care of operations, marketing, and all things like that. So that's pretty much personal stuff. So now let's dig in for leadership stuff. Are you ready? Yes. Okay. So after the intuition download, let's play something. Okay, so before we get into the definition of leadership and types of leadership, I want to talk about one of my recent experiences. What a great leader can do. I just want to quickly talk about that very briefly. Yes, sir.
Lead the people to
Sorry?
come in such a. Lead the people to come in such a.
You have to loud it.
Lead the people.
I'm sorry. Leadership is first we have to lead the people.
Yeah.
What we have achieved in the life, that we have to spread to the peoples and make them happy and enjoyable.
Correct. Absolutely correct. We will talk about that, the definition and things like that. Before we get into detail, let's just quickly let me share the experience that I went to last week. I went to actually Belur Halebedu. How many of you have seen Belur Halebedu? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you know any one of you who have not seen? Do you know what that is? Sorry? Yeah, it's a temple. Well, more so it's an architectural, ingenuity. It's a great place to witness and experience what our ancestors have done it. Collector, chief guest today talked about 5,000 years of heritage, and then Swamiji talked about the ancient wisdom. So I just want to again quickly touch on that. So this Belur Halabedu, it's a 12th century architectural temple built by a king called Hoyshaleshwara. And so he's a great leader. I'll tell you why he's a great leader. He's a great leader because this temple is built over a period of 190 years. So one man's vision, was carried over 190 years. So such was the loyalty and commitment of his followers. And that temple is, basically Halabedu is based on Lord Krishna, and Belur is on Lord Shiva. So this Belur Halabedu, just 1 second. Yeah, and these designers, they are pioneers in design, arts, and science. So I'll give you some examples of science. If you're driving in a car and your tire gets punctured, what do you do? Sorry? Yeah, just change the tire, right? So it's as simple as that. Not many temples or not many other structures, they use that sort of very simple system. If something breaks, you just remove it, you fix it, and you put it back. Now that's what they did in the 12th century. It's a system called interlocking system. So they have a lot of mini scriptures, among the big one. So something goes wrong, they just remove it and they fix it and they put it back. It's very simple concept, but just to see and witness this has been done in the 12th century is marvelous. So that's some example for science, and there were some examples for design. And if you just go there and see it, then you will maybe understand what I'm saying. There were designs of radial tires, in the big, we say the column. That was just astounding, was unbelievable. I just cannot see it. I mean, some of the, the tire, that some of the guys who discovered the tire, they might have gone to Halabedu and see the design, so you never know. So that was the tire, and there also existed the concept of binoculars. So again, which is very, very modern concept. I believe that came in the 18th century, 19th century, the binoculars. So that was there in the 12th century. So, all these things, it stood test of time. A lot of other invaders came and, sort of demolished the place, and wind, storm, fire, it stood the test of time. So, and this particular architecture, it talks about design, it talks about architecture, it talks about science, it talks about project management, it talks about several aspects of business and science and mathematics and and arts and things like that. So one great leader, just one great leader, and he has made this. He has done this. And again, I urge you to visit sites like not necessarily Belur Halabedu, but something like Hampi in Agra, and New Delhi, and sites like that. And just quickly, we will do one exercise now. Okay, I'll just give you one quick activity. You're welcome to come here and show your design sense. Talk about that?
I'm sorry that I'm not that much good artist, but my imagination is this. This is my favorite god, and he got swallowed by the elephant, and he got tied up at the abdominal region. These are the flaps, the skin flaps. They tied off like that, and he had appeared like this. This is my concept.
Good one. Okay. So, any volunteers? Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Draw on the other side.
Comes out of the mouth.
Stand on the
I think
closer.
Actually, my idea was my imagination. He's a small Krishna in his childhood, and he'll just come out from the mouth of the elephant. Just open it large and just come out. I think I can better manage with pen and paper. It's better here than there. It's very much worse there. Thank you.
Okay, you got it.
I just wanted to
Yeah, this Asura
he thinks he is different from others. That's why I have labeled him as two. He differentiates himself from others. Whereas this God, he thinks he's unique. I mean, he's in everyone. And that's what I believe. God is in everyone. So two is bifurcated and one emerges.
Most of the temples I've seen that
This way, this way.
Shruti, don't rub him.
I shouldn't?
Don't rub him. Just find some place in the side and explain.
you can't express.
This may be a little, not little, a lot of it out of the box. I have a typical version of it, but it really broke my heart to draw Krishna so badly. So I have a different conception. Maybe it's the geometric conception of what I thought. Alright. Don't ask me why it's a pentagon, it can be hexagon or whatever. But for me, yeah, the elephant is just a many-sided figure. And the center, okay, for me, I'm putting for the Advaitic way. The God, it's just the absolute, the one, the circle. So the circle is my God. And this is like, let's say, he just broke open the pentagon and the power is just radiating forth, and the pentagon is also spreading out to become a circle. The more sides, it's closer to a circle. So, actually there are only 5, but I'll add a few more. So, it's slowly becoming a circle. So, my God is also not something that kills, it's more like absorb and make that also God. Thank you. By the way, this was my original one. It must be really bad.
That way.
Hello everyone, this is my drawing, and as you know it looks funny, but the main idea behind it is, actually I have been to Halabedu and most of the figures I have seen that God killing some animal or something, he basically kills it and stands on it, so that's my main idea. Thank you.
Okay, so I thank all the participants here. Nice work. I'm not sure whether King has would have given you some accolades for this, but it's good work nevertheless. Okay, now let's see the real picture, a real work done by some artist. So again, this thing goes. Vishwaswara says to all the people, this is the project. So some of you or any one of you can just give me a painting and draw this. So once we actually went to the museum also, and we saw several other similar paintings, but they were not approved apparently by the king. It was kept in the museum, So this was the final one that was approved by the king, and I absolutely love this. This is some great thought and great creativity. So I just want to share this with you. The God. So the God, what he does is, he kills the elephant, and then he tilts the elephant vertically, right? He cuts the head, and he puts the head here at the bottom. Can you see the head? Okay. So the head is at the bottom. Yeah, okay. So the head is at the bottom, and on top of the head is the body of the elephant, which is tilted vertically, right? And the four legs is one here, the other one is this side, and the other two legs is here, here, and here. This one and this one. The four legs, and this is the tail. And the god, again, he's sort of inside the elephant, and he's like, okay, I want this battle. So, this is something cool, right? Okay, with that inspiration work, now let's talk more about leadership and leaders. Okay, so now let's see the definition of leaders and other parts.
Okay, so that was a masterpiece, and he wouldn't move from that place for a very long time. So we had to push him and make him come. So just to close that loop, it was to emphasize how much. By the way, there were like many pieces like this, and we interpreted that. Many artisans would have sculpted these, and then whatever was the perfect one, they would have put it on the main temple. The other was kept in the museum. So you could see like 2 or 3 versions of it, and some slight change, and that piece would have gotten rejected, And one thing that came across about every sculpture in that temple is the excellence of workmanship that was there. And unless the leader would want it to be like that, probably you wouldn't get such a quality of work that you would have got. So we found that the leadership shown here was just brilliant, as well as very creative. So awakening the leader in you. So let us talk about what is the definition of a leader. I'm not going to say, I'm asking you. I want one of you to, or you can put your hands up, but stand one at a time and then say it a bit loud. What you think, who will you think as a leader? How would you define a leader?
Who thinks about...
Okay, first one.
One who leads the team without selfishness.
One who leads the team without selfishness.
The leader is the one who works for himself and also strives for the people who follows him and works for the achievement of himself along with the achievement of the followers. Means the persons who want to follow. And he will set as a role model so that his qualities will be inculcated by not only the persons of his age but also the other generations following.
Risk-taking and fearless. Optimistic.
Who should be more responsibility, positive-minded, and integrity, and he should have respect to the others.
I think leader is a person who coordinates the total team for achieving a single goal of everyone.
What I feel is, a leader is a person who shows his team when he gets success and he faces the failure. He alone will face the failure. When he gets succeed, he will represent the team. That's what.
This folk, let everybody speak.
I mean to say that he shares only the positivity with the team, but takes the failure on himself.
Leader is the one who does his work with commitment and passion.
One who faces any kind of criticisms and still keeps his or her members happy and satisfied.
Leader is the one who shows the direction to the entire team and he himself follows them.
Great, thank you.
Ability to motivate.
Yeah.
A leader is a reader and he is an emotional quotient and people-centric.
Yeah, it's very difficult to define a leader because whatever I say, you can say a different thing and say that he is a leader. Whatever you say, I can tell some other thing and say that he can also be called a leader. So, but broadly defining a leader shortly, if we can define shortly, a leader is one who has followers. That's
Effective resource management.
a perfect pathfinder.
As there would be many opinions for a single question, so the leader is the person who can accumulate everyone, bring them under one roof, and show a path for everyone, convince everyone, and show a path, single path to all of them.
According to me, a leader is a person who talks about realistic things and follows what he says. Follows what he says.
Decision making.
What about decision making?
For a perfect moment, taking a perfect decision.
Taking right
decision.
To sum it all up, a leader is someone who is close enough to people to relate to them, but far enough ahead to motivate them.
That's it. One who gives 100%.
Yeah. One who directs and one who guides the team members.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Vivekananda is a leader who works for the sake of work. He didn't do anything for us, for him, for the country, for the world. He just do work for the sake of work. I thought that thing.
Leader is the one who has vision, who can see something totally out of the...
Who inspires others. Who creates a mission for achieving the vision.
Who executes and makes others execute.
And leader is the one who creates and trusts that the team players will manage and get motivated by the team leader.
Excuse me. Leader is an initiator and a motivator of team members or certain people, a group of people, and we can also say a good guider for a specific thing to run in a smooth way, or a good guider for a specific thing who he believes for a specific reason. I mean, for a specific destiny to lead the team.
Who is ready to take up the challenge during crisis. I want to add one more point. A leader is a person who gives his 100% in even the smallest thing he does.
Perfect.
Living up to the promise.
Yeah.
A leader is a person who would, as earlier said, motivate others and convince them to go along the right path, but he would not hesitate to go along that path himself alone. And if no one else is following, and if everyone else is also like rejecting him, he will go on his path alone.
So, that's question.
Representing the group. Leader always represents the group.
Yeah.
How about adding the emotional quotient over there, and he is a good listener and reader as well?
According to me, a leader is one who can aspire to inspire people towards a common vision, towards a common goal. That is a leader, and moreover, he should know the strengths and weaknesses of his team to work for the goal.
లీడర్ అంటే ఇంపాసిబుల్ ను పాసిబుల్ చేసేవాడు లీడర్.
Okay. Should we? Yeah.
Leader is good leader. He should not only identify the positive and the weakness points of the team, he should be able to groom up the team. So up to a right extent, and even the followers should feel his presence, his absence, right? His presence in his absence.
He should be self-motivated.
And a leader is a masterpiece to
create
or generate a masterpiece. A leader should never compromise in achieving his goals. If we take example of that sculpture, if the king compromises in only for the first piece itself, he wouldn't have get that great sculpture.
Okay, I think we can stop there.
No, like it was wonderful. But we also say many words for the same things. But I think we kind of, this is like a great repository of synonyms and adjectives and all that. Yeah? Well done. Very well done. So, do I use the mic?
Okay, so that is the definition of leader is what we were trying to get at. Why do we need a leader?
To change things.
To achieve something.
How it is has to be.
To make us, because that is our nature. To bring change.
That is our nature. Can you please elaborate?
Ma'am, I don't know, I have to quote the Manushyanam Sahas ratio of the Gita. Maybe 1 in 1,000 can achieve it, but everybody will get a chance. Everybody is born to be a leader. Everybody at one point or the other. I mean, it's our nature. That is, leader is not just like, I have 10 people and I will lead them, I am the leader. I can be the only person and still be a leader.
So why do we need a leader?
Because like I said, it's our nature. It's the end of all of us. Unless a leader is all these people, right? I mean, a person who has all these qualities. And how can we think of perfection without all these?
So it is in our tendency to become leaders, is what Shruti has to say.
To quote Walt Whitman, he says, the lives of great men teach us that we can make our lives sublime. So it is generally a simple concept of leaving footprints on the sands of time where we can follow those footprints and become leaders. So it's setting an example for us to follow.
Setting an example for us to follow. Leader.
Actually, we human beings are social beings. It is known that if 10 people also even 2 people are with, they will got different thoughts. But we have to achieve a single goal. So to comprehend the thoughts and to lead to the goal, we need a pole star for a something like a pole star for the sailor. We need some direction. For that direction, we need a leader.
So direction. So we need to have direction, and leader is someone who shows us direction, and hence we need a leader.
The leader is the one who puts all the rules and all into action, who can execute all the things, like every person can't put every rule or everything into action. So only the team leader.
Why do you need a leader?
To convert wrong.
So, one second. Before we say, so I don't want this discussion to be the same as saying the qualities of the leader, right? You think of your own self. So, how many of you think you need a leader? That's a different question. I'm not saying who want to be a leader. Okay, let me ask that question too. How many of you want to be a leader? Brilliant, thanks. You saved my lectures. So, but how many of you need a leader then? Let's talk to them. So think of whoever put your hands up, you know if you put your hands up or not, you think why do you need a leader, and give us that reason why.
Just to cross-check ourselves, whether we are like what Shruti has told, I second her point by telling like from since we were born, our parents are supporting us. They tell us like what's right or wrong. So basically, to choose like what is right or wrong, or to we need a kind of support or something always behind us.
So you need a leader so that you can feel secure and you can follow that path and learn from them.
After a certain period of time, yes, we need a leader.
Regarding myself, due to lack of self-confidence.
Honesty. Yep.
Just to cross-check ourselves whether we are in the right path.
Leader have all those qualities, man.
You tell me, what do you think?
Every person may not be gifted all those qualities.
Yes.
So to get to at least follow the path of perfection, he needs someone to guide him.
Okay, so you were saying that possibly not one person can have all of this, so some of them can have, so which is why you need a leader, so that you can, great.
Actually, I want to share is that leader is we people want to have some leaders, or some people want to become a leader, but even in our daily life we will be having leader without knowing. They are called informal leaders. So leader cannot be separated from the human life. So leader is not in the nature, it's nature itself a leader. Even the animals do have a leader, even the insects, ants, those two have a leader. It's in the nature itself that a leader is necessity and required for the existence of the human being or any other species.
To bring a change in the present environment of the society, we need a leader. And we need not become a leader when the things are all right. When there's an adamant situation, when the situation is bad, then we need a leader. Only then he can change the wrong things right. And then comes the need of a leader.
So then are you saying the situation is bad now, that you need a leader now?
Yes.
Yes.
Leader is the one who binds all his teammates and puts them together so that.
Why do you need a leader?
He is needed because the team should be united, it should be together as fast as possible. So to make it that fluffy, we need a leader to put it together.
Ma'am, I want to become leader, that's why I need
So, what's your name?
Divya.
Divya wants to become a leader, so she wants a leader. So then she can become a leader.
And just a pile of bricks can't make a house. So you need a cementing material. Leader is a cementing material. He will amalgamate, or she will amalgamate the good qualities and avoid or reduce the bad qualities. So it's amalgamation, it's cementing material. It's required.
Okay.
Save us from problems.
Save you from problems.
A leader, we want a leader because a leader does two things. One, he represents people. Two, he leads people.
That's why you need.
So that he'll pool all the leadership qualities in myself and make me a supreme leader.
Okay, so you second with Divya.
In order to change, progress and accomplish some things, we need leader. Whether
You
it is
need a
good
leader to change,
Yes,
progress and
whether it is
accomplish.
from good to bad or bad to good, we need a leader.
A leader is someone who can leverage the gap between higher and lower thinking.
Okay.
Ma'am.
To grow in any organization, we need a role model.
Okay.
A role model should be like a mirror to reflect what we, just like a mirror.
Yeah.
So, to put a role model in our, it's our goal. So we need a leader to set as a good role model.
Yeah.
Hello. One more. We need a leader to know the genuine concerns of the society. To set right the concerns of the society. Society demands something.
Leader for me is a teacher. I want a leader to make me, break me, or alter me, and get me right. I need a leader.
If we take 10 members in the team, each member may have different thoughts. So to combine their thoughts, we should need leader, and leader should be a best servant in the team.
Something that's unsaid?
Since nobody is perfect in this world, even me myself, I am not perfect. So I need a leader who is better than me. I feel around me, I feel a leader because who is better than me. Perfect is better than me, and in a period of time, I want to become a leader, seeing that good and bad qualities of his and everything. That's it. Well, it's like we all know that there are right paths and wrong paths, but some of us, most of us, at times follow the wrong path because no one actually takes the right path. Society doesn't take the right path. So, leader will allow us to, he will show us, he'll go through the right path and he'll be like, yes, this is the right path, you have to follow me and this will lead you to your goal. So, that's what you need to do.
Okay. So we'll wind this discussion for now. That's great. So we all now know certain qualities of a leader. We have experienced some, and we are aspiring for some, and we have also listed down why we need a leader, right? So now what we were planning to do is to split you up into groups, and I would go back to the discussion. I don't know who started. It is like, yeah, I think Shruti said it. All of us, it's a tendency for us to become a leader, and someone over here also said that even in our daily, day-to-day lives, we have to portray certain qualities of becoming a leader in order to overcome a situation or win a situation or progress, right? Each of you, you might not be perfect, but during the time of crisis in your house or with your friend or in your own life, personal life, there could have been crisis and you would have stand up to something and then you would have said that, okay, now I have to take charge of this and then I have to do this, right? Now, we all know that the situation is a lot of room for improvement is there for this current Indian situation, and we are trying to make a difference to what's happening, right? So, let us try and see how the leader in each of you, what is the way to awaken that leader in you? What could be a strategy that we can employ in order to identify, okay, I could be, say, a people leader. So where I can manage, I can understand how team works, I can understand if I do this to this person and that to that person, they'll work as a team. So I could be like a people leader. And then we need leaders for strategy, who can create strategies and vision and things like that, right? So it is really, we want to use this as an opportunity to look into each of you, like Murthy sir said, look inside. Yeah, going into our universities and then trying to see what is that in me that I can identify and which I can convert into a leadership quality and try to become a leader on my own. So I think we need to agree that it doesn't matter if I want to have followers or not. I want to be leader of my own life. So then how do I go and achieve that? That's what we are going to try and do in the afternoon session. So because we all have to be awake, we are going to have an activity in the afternoon. So it's not going to be lecture. So we'll split you up into groups. We'll get into a detailed discussion on what are some of those qualities that we should change, we should imbibe in ourselves, and how are we going to put that into an action. Essentially, if we can get an action plan, like one idea that you take back saying that, okay, so this is this sankalpa I have taken, now I'm going to stick to that. So would you be interested to do that? Yes. I'm interested to do that. Yes. Shall we all do that? Yes. So we'll take like one thing, we'll say, okay, fine, today is the day. I'm going to take this as my sankalpa. I don't know an equivalent word of sankalpa, so I'm using that. It's not even determination, it's like dedication. Nothing matters. It is sankalpa. So you take a sankalpa and then you go and then you apply that in your life. That's what we are trying to do. You're all up for it? Yes. So let's do that after filling our stomach.